And like sand through the hourglass, so is the election of our lives. So, in the latest turn of events, the second presidential debate is officially cancelled. Oh, I wonder who called that. I can't take credit for that. Everybody knew this was coming, for fuck's sakes. As soon as it was going to go virtual, and as soon as Trump said, take your virtuosity and go fuck yourself, we all knew that it was just going to be two different camps going in two different directions. And what we're going to have here, apparently ABC has stepped up and they're going to be hosting a Joe Biden town hall, which will be pre-recorded, scripted, and all that other fun shit where he can put in his goofy little earwig and maybe he won't have to wear his fucking AR contact lenses. I know this was all speculation coming out of the first debate, but for fuck's sakes, they don't even have to hide it this time. They can just take such questions as, gee, Joe, why are you so effusive and wonderful? And boy, your hair sure does look real and not like plugs that were put in with a 12 gauge. And Trump, meanwhile, can hold a rally, but I'm also hearing things, this is very, very early, and of course this is very, very late breaking, that he's going to be holding a town hall on NBC, which, well, NBC was supposed to carry the third debate, and I'm saying supposed to because I don't think we're going to see another debate after this fucking disaster, because the Commission on Presidential Debates is supposed to be a bipartisan effort, and the way that they've handled this has been anything but. From the moderators that they selected, literally Chris Wallace, I've done a couple of videos on him and I've proved to you how he is very much an anti-Trumper. He doesn't like the way that Trump deals with the media. He has said so in the past, and that's a fair criticism if you're a journalist, but as long as you do your job right, you shouldn't be taking that personally. And Chris Wallace had made it his raison d'etre to champion that cause, a basically unwinnable cause, and has since gone on to drag everybody but himself for his first debate performance. And we'll just fucking dig right into this, because this debate's canceled in the next few weeks. The other one's going to be canceled, and we're just going to have to wait until November 3rd to get our first wave of, I guess, results, because it's going to take forever. And I swear to God, here's my early prediction for what's going to happen on election night. We're going to go for a few hours. It's going to look like Trump's going to have a historic victory, and then everybody's broadcast is just going to cut out and it'll say to be continued, because we aren't going to fucking know. Because the latest you can apparently mail in your mail-in ballots is fucking November 10th, a week after the goddamn election. If that doesn't sound sus, I don't know, man. You ain't looking hard enough, or you're rooting for the team that's pulling this shit. But what does the AP have to say about the cancellation? The second presidential debate between President Donald Trump and Democrat Joe Biden is officially off. The nonpartisan commission on presidential debates confirmed Friday that the October 15th face-off would be scrapped. The decision was made a day after the commission announced the debate would take place virtually because Trump had contracted coronavirus. And like I had said before, it would be nearly a week. It would be 13 days from the time he tested positive to when the debate was going to be held. You're supposed to self-quarantine originally at the beginning for 2 weeks. And if fucking old frail Joe Biden can't stand next to somebody 12, 15, 18, 24 feet apart, how is he supposed to deal with anything that would potentially come his way in the next 4 years? Oh, that's right, because he wouldn't be president for the next 4 years. Fuck, he wouldn't even be president for the next 4 months. But that's just my opinion, and hopefully we never have to find that out. Trump has balked at holding the debate in that format, obviously, because we remember the different moderator rules and powers that were supposed to be put into place by this nonpartisan committee. The ability to cut off either one's microphone at any time if they're running over or being obnoxious, holding participants to their strict timing guidelines, not realizing that's what killed off mainstream media, all these strict timelines when people can't actually have a proper conversation because you have 2 minutes, and then we're going to discuss this very important point like the economy or climate change for 5 minutes, and we're supposed to be able to parse out an opinion based on that horse shit. Yeah, it's outdated methodology that alt tech is at least taking up properly when it's not being suppressed by its leftist overlords. But I shall continue. Trump's team leader countered with the call to hold the debates as scheduled once the president's doctor said he would be cleared to hold public events beginning on Saturday. today, holding today, all the medical community would clear him, or at least his, highly respected Marine or Navy doctor, rather. But the commission said it would not reverse its decision not to have the candidates on stage together, citing an abundance of caution with health concerns, particularly for the town hall-style debate that was set to feature questions from average voters. The third debate is scheduled for October 22nd in Nashville, Tennessee, is still on right now. And it's a wonder why the town hall debate was canceled. Because old stuttering, stammering Uncle Joe would actually have to mill about the stage in order to answer non-scripted questions and answer on the fly. But if we learned anything from 4 years ago when Donna Brazile, the current Fox News contributor, by the way, if you thought that Fox News even had a shred of credibility left, even though I'm using them for a couple of sources in this video, whatever. They're a good news outlet for most part. I'm just saying they have terrible personnel choices. When she was working for the DNC, giving the Hillary Clinton campaign all of the questions in advance for the debates. So, yeah, no. But yeah, like I said, it's fucking over. It's a done deal. And now we got to look at the reason why this debate isn't such a lost cause, because it was going to be moderated by, well, it was going to be hosted by C-SPAN, and Steve Scully, a contributor to C-SPAN, was going to be the debate moderator. If you didn't know Steve Scully's background, he used to intern for Joe Biden. Oh yeah, there, nice. Bipartisan or nonpartisan commission would choose somebody who has a extensive history with Joe Biden, somebody who has a history of being on the blue side and has also put his foot in his mouth recently. Steve Scully has a history of blaming hackers for posts made on his Twitter account. Well, guess what? He really stuck his stupid foot into his stupid mouth on this one. Presidential debate moderator, former presidential debate moderator, claimed through a statement by C-SPAN Friday that he believes his Twitter account was hacked after a tweet showing him reaching out to outspoken Trump foe and former press secretary Anthony Scaramucci went viral Thursday night. However, resurfaced tweets show that Scully has a history of blaming hackers for a social media post. It's just like how the rest of the media goes, Russia. Yeah. Exactly. That's the go-to whenever you post something or something weird comes to light on social media. I was hacked. I'm not really a piece of shit like this in real life. Yeah, exactly. Just blame it on somebody else, something nebulous that can't actually be proven. The Washington Journal host appeared to reach out to former White House communications director, who has become a vocal supporter of Joe Biden, is now in the now deleted tweet that read, Scaramucci, should I respond to Trump? You would think that he was trying to DM with him. I don't know what the fuck that actually means, but maybe Trump was reaching out to Scully to say, are you going to be on the level? But speculation can run wild on this. Clearly, this was a conflict of interest for somebody who was supposed to be down the middle for a debate that was supposed to take place. Both the Commission on Presidential Debates and C-SPAN have issued statements claiming Scully didn't actually send that tweet. Oh, wow. C-SPAN's statement said, Scully did not originate the tweet, adding the CPD was investigating the incident with help of the authorities. We will never hear fuck anything about this. Who were unidentified. Scully himself did not immediately comment, of course, because he's carefully contracting all of his, or conspiring with people that he can make up a story about. However, critics who remain skeptical of Scully's hack claim dug up old tweets showing him blaming hackers for other tweets that were made on his account. Well, stop using password for your password, you fucking dunce. In May 2012, Scully appeared apologetic about tweets that were made about his weight loss. I apologize for Saturday's tweets regarding weight loss, etc. I have had my day job at C-SPAN. Darn those hackers. Have a great Sunday, Scully wrote. Oh, darn those hackers, exactly. I posted something stupid, and it's not my fault, and I'm not going to delete it. I'm going to hold it up there as a badge of honor and just proof that I get hacked all the time. So whenever there's something you don't agree with me with, oh, it was probably just hackers. I'm not a complete empty suit out there. I am a fully formed human being. In another tweet on March 13th, oh, it's not the only time Scully apologizes for posts that were sent by his Twitter account, though it was unclear what the content was in those tweets written by alleged hackers. I apologized for some earlier tweets. Account was hacked. Oh, jeez, that's terrible. Those tweets did not come from me. Thanks all for alerting me. SS. Uh-oh. Scully wrote at the time. The two tweets, which were gaining traction on Friday afternoon, have since been deleted. Exactly, and that's why we don't have any screenshots of it, but at least Fox News, the written site, has done a fair amount of work on that one. But of course, we all knew Chris Wallace's Never Trumper passed, and now I've explained to you that Steve Scully, the penciled in moderator for the second debate, was at least a liar and had not quite full-throated opinions on Trump, but was at least left-leaning. But how about the third moderator for the alleged third debate? What is her history? Third debate moderator Kristen Welker's Twitter account deactivated amid Steve Scully controversy. The C-SPAN host's Twitter account was also deactivated following the alleged hacking. Uh-oh, what does this bitch have to hide? The Twitter account of NBC correspondent and third presidential debate moderator Kristen Welker has been deactivated on Friday amid the tweeting controversy surrounding C-SPAN host Steve Scully. Hours after Scully's Twitter account was deleted following an alleged hack that took place on Thursday night, Welker's own account was no longer active. Fox News is told that Welker deactivated her own account and was not asked to by the Commission on Presidential Debates, according to an NBC source. And there's your proof. That's not to say that it's not going to come online, say, I don't know, the 22nd, the 23rd, November 4th. Who knows? And what is this bitch trying to hide? Does she have a Never Trumper past? Of course she does. NBC asked the correct fake account of Trump reacting to shooting. Today, the National Legal and Policy Center called upon NBC News and its White House correspondent Kristen Welker to correct a blatantly false account of President Trump's reaction yesterday at his press conference following the shooting that occurred near the White House, where he was escorted from the podium to the Secret Service to the Oval Office. When he returned several minutes later to the podium, there was a flurry of questions by the reporters as what had occurred, whether he was escorted to the secure bunker in the White House, and other questions about the incident, to which the president calmly responded with the basic information that was known to him. One of the reporters, Kristen Welker, future debate moderator, White House correspondent for NBC News, asked the following question at the 6-minute 57-second mark of the press conference. Kristen Welker: "Are you rattled by this, Mr. President?" President Trump: "I don't know. Do I seem rattled?" Shortly after the press conference, Miss Welker appeared on MSNBC, oh boy, bastion of objectivity, to report the shooting incident and said, "I asked the president if he was rattled by all this. He said, 'Of course.' Do I look rattled? Do I seem rattled?" There's no of course there. There we go. Mischaracterization. Just like everything that tends to be happening when it comes to the president. We'll just finish this paragraph before I go off. But he also expressed his gratitude to the Secret Service. Anyone watching President Trump's calm and subdued demeanor would conclude that he was not rattled by the shooting, as Ms. Welker falsely led MSNBC viewers to believe. Sadly, this is yet another shameful example of fake news by the major media that goes uncorrected. Both NBC proper, and Kristen Welker owe an apology and a correction to the viewers and her fellow White House correspondents for blatantly putting words in the president's mouth to fit her narrative of an easily rattled president, said Peter Flaherty, chairman of the National Legal and Policy Center. So yeah, putting words in President Trump's mouth isn't unfamiliar to the public at large. Very fine people. Muslim ban. Not condemning white supremacists. I could continue, but you get my point. All of these never Trumper left-leaning individuals that have been chosen by the nonpartisan Commission on Presidential Debates have, at least for this cycle, have stunk. Have absolutely been terrible. So I don't know, it seems clear to me that the debates are rigged, at least in favor of Joe Biden. I don't know if rigged is fair, but it's fair to say that the Democrats have home court advantage. Because, of course, they want the Democrats to win. Trump was not supposed to win in 2016. I think it's fair to surmise that at this point, because they've done every single effort to try to get rid of Trump. scandal after scandal based on baseless claim, baseless claim, baseless claim. The Russia hoax, orchestrated and came up by the the Hillary Clinton campaign. How about this whole Russia or the Ukrainian thing? Hunter Biden is the only one who actually has it passed with Ukraine. And impeachment earlier this year, if you can believe that. That was 9 months ago, but it did in fact happen in 2020. And now the fucking old crazy bitch herself is talking about impeachment again. Speaker backs Raskin's bill to set up nonpartisan commission to determine a president's fitness. Says it's not about Trump. Okay, we've heard this before. Well, you can kind of surmise the fact that, Trump caught the coof. Trump is better from the coof. He's back at the White House performing regular White House-ly duties, probably solving Middle East, a war and unrest, and won't get any kind of credit for that. Actually, in fact, Nancy Pelosi herself has said that the Middle Eastern peace deals are a distraction because she's a fucking bitch. Anyways, why would Speaker Nancy Pelosi unveil legislation less than 1 month before Election Day to establish a commission under the 25th Amendment to determine the president's fitness for holding office? That's a question many in Washington are asking Friday after Pelosi held a news conference with Maryland Representative Jamie Raskin, a constitutional scholar and member of the White House Democratic leadership team, to back his bill setting up a commission on presidential capacity to discharge the powers and duties of the office. Democrats say they're simply setting up a process authorized by the Constitution that should have been codified long ago, but is especially needed now because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Republicans think Pelosi is continuing the effort she started with impeachment to try to oust President Donald Trump. And others suggest Pelosi is signaling that Trump, who tested positive for COVID-19 last week, is unfit to hold office. Exactly. But what does this have to do with the first 3/4 of this video you asked on? Well, I will tell you, interested viewer, maybe this is not meant for the Trump-Pence campaign. Maybe they are actually stupid enough to believe the polls and think that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to win. Maybe they think that this strategy of keeping Joe in the bunker and never seeing him again until he has to peek his head out on November 3rd is somehow going to land them a win, just so Joe Biden doesn't have to say anything stupid at any more debates, and he can keep these very scripted town halls and very planned out and formulaic public appearances, just in fact that everything will be safe and the public will get the perfectly scripted version of what you expect a candidate to be. And Trump will continue to go out there and mill about the public, and he'll say stuff that's off the cuff and it'll be abrasive. And it's not like that was the exact same strategy that happened in 2016, except for they didn't have a pandemic to blame all of this stuff in order to hide the very, very unlikable Hillary Clinton. No. I think that they're using this 25th Amendment fucking gimmick for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Let me explain. I've said that Joe Biden will not survive 4 years as president. I think I've made that point even in this video. He is clearly mentally deteriorating. There is nothing working above his ears anymore. Oh, come on, man. That's not fair. Look, here's the deal. Here's the deal indeed, Joe. They will oust him because this entire committee is supposed to be set up on the presidential fitness. And as soon as Joe Biden realizes that, you know what, I've had enough, guess what? The Democrats can have their first BIPOC president. And if for some reason they get to cheat the electorate, because I don't think that they're going to be able to cheat everybody out of voting for President Trump. I think that they're still going to be trying to cheat at a local level, like what you see with Project Veritas and the Ilhan Omar voting scandal. No, they're going to try and win as many seats as humanly possible in the Senate and in the House as well. And what they're going to do if, God forbid, Joe Biden becomes president, Kamala Harris becomes the vice president, they'll use this commission to determine after Joe's been president for what? Months? A couple months? Would you give him 6 months? Would you say by next summer Kamala Harris would be president? I think that'd be fair to say. And then guess what? She would have to pick a vice president. And guess who comes calling? Guess who comes rolling down the hill on her white pantsuit with a rapist second husband in tow? Or maybe they'd be flying in on the Lolita Express, considering nobody's going to be using that anymore. You fucking betcha. If Hillary Clinton couldn't actually win, she will get appointed, because once they use this funky commission to send Joe off into retirement to lay out the deal to his potted plants at home, Kamala Harris will become president, and she will be able to appoint a new vice president. But because she would be taking over midterm, there wouldn't be a special election or anything. Her vice presidential nominee would have to be passed by the House. And if they're going to run this big voter fraud scheme, it's going to happen at every single level. Don't you think it's just going to happen at the presidential level? So, guess what? They're going to have their majority in the House, and then they'll be able to confirm Kamala Harris's vice presidential pick, and you bet your fucking bottom dollar it's going to be Hillary Clinton. Let's hope we don't have to find out. Let's hope, in fact, that this landslide that's coming for Trump is going to be huge. It's going to be the biggest you've ever seen. Everybody agrees. I think that's what's likely to happen, because there is no enthusiasm for Joe Biden. Anecdotally, nobody has a fucking sign for Joe Biden. Everybody that used to be MAGA supporters, who would be out there with their MAGA flags and their big, beautiful, wonderful lawn signs, can't have them up anymore, or they've just gone completely the other direction and have just made fucking shrines to the man. And the reason that you don't see so many passive Republican supporters for President Trump is because if you have anything that can be construed as being racist or sexist or misogynistic or white supremacist, guess what? Your house gets attacked now. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, whatever you want to call that coalition of violent rioters, they run around to people's houses now. I think it's in Minnesota or Minneapolis more specifically, where they've been going into, I know definitely in Portland, they've been going into the suburbs, starting smashing up houses. So guess what? You just need to keep quiet, keep your head down, gain as many facts as you possibly can, and vote like your fucking life depends on it, because even as a Canadian, I know if Joe Biden gets elected, the Western world's in some deep shit. So, to all my American viewers out there, fucking vote Trump, please. He truly is the only hope that we have for a free and honest future. But that'll about do it on this topic. I appreciate every single one of you for taking the time to watch this video, because it's a joy to do this for y'all. And I've been Don Consuelo, and I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.